What is up, everybody? A bit of a news update today regarding several shows, even to the point of certain information bombs I didn't really expect. So what we're going to get into to begin with is Stargirl and when it's returning, and as I kind of just briefly teased, Brec Bassinger dropped lots of teasers and information for the new season, Superman and Lois Season 3 return date, plus very interesting villain teasers for maybe Season 3, and we're gonna have to get into that one. The Flash Season 9 and that return date, and how Season 9 actually might not be the final season, and some Gotham Knights stuff because we've got a poster and an updated synopsis, and I think we need to talk about that. So let's first talk about Stargirl. So Stargirl will return for its third season of adventures in Blue Valley on Wednesdays, except, as you can see here, in the fall. It's no longer going to be in the summer. Now, there were some rumors surrounding that it might not be in the summer. We've spoken about this on a few live streams in terms of one thing I've been talking about recently, whether that's on Twitter, on live streams, or whatever. Where's the Stargirl promo? Like, usually we get it, you know, around about now, if not before. Just some kind of, you know, insight into what's going on. And they had Season 3 in the can for a little bit of time now, yet no news. And lo and behold, it's been pushed back to fall, which kind of sucks because I think that's well over a year, almost like a year and a half or so, considering the end of Season 2 to when Season 3 will release. Obviously, we're going to be covering it on the channel, so if you're brand new here, do subscribe for any and all updates. But talking of Season 3 updates, wow, we've got quite a few here. So when Brec Bassinger was being interviewed at the Upfront, she teased quite a few interesting things, a lot more than what I expected. One of them, and we already actually knew this, is that Joel McHale, Starman, will be a series regular. I believe we learned that around October last year. But Sylvester being in town, as Brec Bassinger says, with Starman being back, who will the staff go to or listen to? Who will take the staff? I mean, considering she's Stargirl, took up the mantle when Starman died, or, well, he died kind of a while back, or at least we thought. We still have yet to get this answer. With Starman back, is he going to take the staff? So she started talking about that. She says there's also this struggle because at one point Courtney thought Starman was her dad, so him being there, she really looks up to him in this father figure role. Like, will he come in and be able to do that and be able to do what she expects of him? I guess, to me, that will kind of be like a yes and no. He will be probably a bit of an influential figure to her, but also be like, I'm not your dad. At the end of the day, you know I'm not your dad, so stop expecting me to be your dad. Don't meet your heroes, maybe, kind of thing. I think we might get a few shocking revelations to Courtney there, where she's a bit more in the face, slapped, like, into reality of, oh, Starman is perhaps a little bit flawed than what I thought he was. And this was a bit of a learning lesson in Season 2 as well, with regards to Eclipso and some things that they were a little bit complicit in with regards to Eclipso back in the day with those flashbacks, if you remember. But I don't know. That's just my speculation there. Maybe it's going to be don't meet your heroes. Don't get me wrong, Starman, Sylvester will probably be kick-ass. But there may be a few bits that, again, doesn't quite live up to the father figure she was perhaps and will perhaps be looking for. And I kind of feel bad for Pat there. He's the father figure. But with Starman coming back, apparently we'll literally see Cosmo the staff struggle. There will be a funny scene like that where Cosmo's like, wait, I go to Sylvester. Oh, no, wait, no. Stargirl, Courtney. And, you know, obviously that's going to be a bit confusing for, I guess, this kind of pet that is the staff, not knowing which owner, like a dog, to run to. As for the time setting, months have gone by since Season 2, not a year or anything, just like shortly after Season 2's finale. Cindy still most definitely wants to be in the JSA, hence the Frenemies title. She is most certainly a frenemy. The Crocs have definitely moved in next door, and she goes on to say as a result of that, with also the Shade is still hanging around Blue Valley, it's a whole town full of villains and heroes living together. But most interestingly to me, this, I like Stargirl as it is, but I'm a sucker for stuff like this. Even if the writing can dip off at some points with stuff like this, I'm still a sucker for it. It really does get me. And that is the theme of Season 3. So the theme of Season 3 is murder mystery. Now, we're going to talk about who the murderer could be in a second, and again, maybe we'll come back to this video in like a, I don't know, when it comes to October, whenever they do the reveal in Season 3. Greg Basinger goes on to say that Season 1 was kind of about coming of age, Back to the Future, Karate Kid in terms of themes. Season 2, obviously horror with Eclipso, but Season 3 is murder mystery, and how evil and good are going to live in a town together and figure out who the murderer is. Again, I'm a sucker for murder mystery. Mystery always usually entices a lot of audience members. It's just that, you know, it's like, who done it, you know? Oh, you know, and especially if you enjoy the show anyway, it's like the early seasons of The Flash. Who is the Reverse Flash? Anything mystery-oriented, like, even though we know it's Eobard Thawne in the comics, it's like, okay, who's the man under the Iron Mask? Lo and behold, it was Jay Garrick in Season 2. So with this, who's the murderer? But I just hope it's not obvious. I hope it's not obvious, because the interviewer goes on to ask about Cameron. You know, he was painting that mural like all season long, and, you know, they joked about how that was the slowest burn romantic relationship between Courtney and him. Like, you know, she gets a text as they're about to kiss and stuff, and she jokes, this is the CW, you know? Surprised it hasn't kind of happened sooner or something like that. She does say that the slow burn relationship finally catches on fire in Season 3, and there's so much clarity to Cameron and his story, with obviously him coming into his own as Icicle Jr., the grandparents likely telling him the truth about things. So going back, the reason why I tangented about that update is because the killer. Now, I do think it would be a 180 from Cameron. The Icicle Jr. seems to be like a nice guy, doesn't know about his father or anything, to then become a murderer. But what if they do paint it out all season to be like, oh, what if it's Mr. Bones? What if it's someone else? But really, it's him having learned about his father, Icicle, being murdered, and he's just killing people who he feels is responsible along the way, and then it might not be a shocking revelation for the audience, but to the JSA, people like, you know, Courtney might be like shocked Pikachu face at learning that it was her love interest. I don't know. That is way too straightforward for me. I just wouldn't be surprised. I really hope it isn't almost, but what if it is Icicle Jr.? You know, or at least Cameron on his way to Icicle Jr. So let me know who you think could be a candidate for the murderer in Season 3. Could be a complete opposite thing. Like, what if they somehow pull out the bag as Sylvester? You know, this wasn't Sylvester all along, it's just a guy pretending to be Sylvester. You may then argue, how does Cosmo the staff go to him and vibe that it's him? I don't know. Maybe there's going to be an excuse for that. I'm just expecting anything at this point. On one hand, I really hope it's not obvious, and that it's like, oh, you know, it's the innocent Icicle Jr. who, you know, isn't going to be like his father, but then ultimately does learn the truth and turns into a monster. Bit straightforward, but then it could be someone completely unexpected, and there's a big-ass twist with a reason that they've been keeping all season long, tucked under the covers, and then makes sense when the explanation drops along with the reveal. So, murder mystery, guys. Very, very, very interesting stuff there. Would love to know your thoughts about the Stargirl portion of this video, but now let's move on to a couple of other things, and that is that The Flash and Superman and Lois, so their new seasons. The Flash, they spoke about Season 9. Obviously, we have Superman and Lois Season 3, but it's revealed that they won't be returning for their new seasons until 2023, mid-season, so you can expect that towards the beginning quarter of the year of 2023. Might not be January, could be around January 20-something, but then again, could be like February-ish. I don't know, around about that point, mid-season for The Flash Season 9 and Superman and Lois Season 3. The same as Gotham Knights, by the way, because Gotham Knights won't be airing this year. That will be airing its first season, mid-season, which is the beginning of 2023. No word yet, though, on Flash if it's its final season, which was one of the most interesting things, because I've been talking about it for a while, that I think The Flash is, with all due respect to it, you know, I've enjoyed the show once upon a time, but I think it's kind of past its sell-by date. Now, this is what Mark Pedowitz said, and how they have sat down with everybody to discuss the future of The Flash, past Season 9, and figure out, quote, what to do and how to do. We have a lot of questions about how to go forward. We have not made any determination, nor has the studio. So they're hesitant to say, yeah, The Flash is ending with Season 9. That was my expectation with the CW upfronts. Kind of like how Riverdale, I believe Season 7, has been announced, but as it's ending, you know, it's ending the show with Season 7, I thought they were going to do the same thing, but clearly not. Now, that doesn't mean that it won't be ending with Season 9, but they're hesitant to say that because they might be like, hey, we're going to keep this going if we can get the actors to be like, you know, do you want to keep it going? Do you want to keep it going? Okay, we've got some story ideas. Okay, is everyone in agreement? Right, okay, let's do this for another season, albeit it might be abbreviated, and then another season, season 10, for maybe an abbreviated season around 15 episodes instead of like 18 or 22 or something like that. I don't know, again, not to like dig hard on The Flash or anything, but you know, when he says to discuss the future of The Flash past season 9 and figure out what to do and how to do, it's like, well, yeah, exactly, what to do. I feel like the storylines are a bit stale these days. I know lots of people have enjoyed Armageddon, they enjoyed the Deathstorm stuff, but I don't know. Again, you know my thoughts on this. I've still yet, for anyone who's watching this right now, where's your catch-up review? You said you would do one. I know. It's taken me a while to get to it. The last episode I watched was the one with Goldface in it, so I've got like 7 or 8 episodes to watch. I might just binge through them all around about the time for the finale and give my consensus then. But yeah, I'm not really in it with The Flash anymore. Yeah, we'll see. Who knows? I may praise it in my review, but yeah. I said I would do it, so those who are wondering, it will be out at some point, but it's just not a priority right now. But it will be coming. In terms of the larger scope, you know, with what's been going on recently at the CW, with shows going and what's left, what will be happening in the future, Mark Pedowitz, the big cheese at the CW, said this. Pedowitz then pointed to the fact that DC Stargirl will be on the CW's full lineup, while fellow DC shows The Flash and Superman and Lois will be airing at mid-season along with the new DC show Gotham Knights. He did acknowledge, however, that the network's DC offerings have been pared down, such as the cancellation of Legends of Tomorrow after 7 seasons and Batwoman after 3. Quote, "So, we're not as robust as we were in the past, but still very much there," Pedowitz said. "We started with one, this was Arrow, 10 years ago. We have now moved to create a whole bunch of superheroes, and we're proud of it, and we plan to stay in that business, no matter what the outcome is, with any event of sale or no sale. I think the Warner side realizes the value of having these properties up. DC Comics realizes the value of what it does to their marketability in terms of what these franchises are." So he's just kind of saying, like, you know, we're still here. We're not really quite the Arrowverse we once were, like with this, that show, you know, all the shows that are gone, like Naomi's gone now, technically not in the Arrowverse, Arrow's gone, Legends gone, Batwoman's gone, Black Lightning's gone, you get the picture. But we're still here, and, you know, I think, we're going to keep trying to be here, so fair enough, you know, Mark Pedowitz. But now, with regards to that Superman and Lois tease, this really had me intrigued. So there's this clip going around online, I believe it's from Entertainment Tonight. Now, they didn't attach the interview question in the video. It's a very brief Twitter clip, or like a clip that's going around online of Elizabeth Tulloch and Tyler already answering it, but here's what they say. So Elizabeth Tulloch opens by saying, "Between season 1 and 2, the beginning of season 2 was the direct pickup of the end of season 1. Tyler immediately butts in there and says, 'Don't give it away, don't give it away.' And she jokes, 'I don't know why anybody takes me anywhere.'" So it seems, before we continue what they were saying, that the interviewer may have asked, like, okay, could there be a tease for the end of season 2 that launches us into season 3, maybe a potential tease of a villain, of, you know, like some kind of, like, what's the catalyst that will springboard us in terms of a big tease for the end of season 2 into season 3, and then, like, we have Elizabeth just saying, you know, between season 1 and 2, the beginning of season 2 was the direct pickup from the end of season 1, which it was, you know, the tease that we had with Natalie coming in, you know, on a little escape crash pod thing, and that's when Tyler, you know, kind of butts in and says, you know, don't give it away, because he's kind of apprehensive. And this is where things get even juicier. Tyler continues answering, taking over from Elizabeth Tulloch, saying, "You'll see at the end of this season why our answer isn't anything definite," which is when Elizabeth then butts in and says, "But I will say, I do know that we're getting a very cool villain." And she says that very enthusiastically, like, "But I will say, I do know that we're getting a very cool villain." And then she says, "Can I say that? I already said that." And then Tyler's like, "You already did." So it's kind of like I don't know if I would want to proper brand it an accidental slip up, but I think if Tyler would have spoke to her before that, saying, "Yeah, don't say that," just give conclusions here. But I think she's teasing that as a result, like, I do know we're getting a very cool villain. I think the interview question was something to do with the end bridge. One that Elizabeth Tulloch is very excited about. One that Tyler do Lex, you know, such big villains straight away, you know. Let's, you know, get our own identity first instead of relying on big-ass, you know, Superman villains straight up. Could it be like Doomsday in what the kind of guys, Gotham Knights? So we have a new post. I do agree with what anyone says here. You know, to judge a book, like, you know, I'm going to give it a watch. If I don't like it, just like how I tried Naomi, I kept trying with Batwoman, I drop it. I don't think it's good. Story is with the CW's Gotham Knights. Batman is dead, and a powder keg has ignited Gotham City without the Dark Knight to protect it. In the way, an unpredictable fighter and skilled thief who was born in Arkham Asylum and abandons a larger, more nefarious force at work within Gotham City. This, you know, one criticism that I think is fairly relevant here is that Sophie or Luke Fox and, you know, etc., etc. So we need people to protect the city, right? Right? Protector, you know, just like Batwoman, Gotham had no protector. Gotham has no protector in this. So people, amongst also needing to clear their own names, because like the adopted son of Bruce Wayne being framed for the, you know, the Cape Crusader's death, they also need to protect Gotham because Gotham has no savior. You know, I don't feel like that breaks a massive formula that was already established with Batwoman. But furthermore, this does come across as a bit of a, at least from the poster again, we can't have firm conclusions here. It's just it does come across as a bit of cheese at the same time. A bit of a not really expansive plot from that of, okay, right, Batwoman, let's pitch it. Batman's not here. We need someone else to save the city. Let's do it. With a bit of a cheese vibe to that as well. Right, Gotham Knights, right. Batwoman's gone now. Batman's not in the city. We need someone to save it. We need some people to do that. Right. It's just like, and then you see the poster and it's like, I don't know. It just, you know, I will reserve my thoughts on this one. It doesn't give the best impression. I'm not alone in that, and it feels good that I'm not, you know, otherwise people will be like, Boba, you're just being a, you know, you're just a CW hater. You love Titans, but blah, 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 blah. Look, I'm not alone in this. It doesn't look fantastic, at least from what we're, you know, description, poster right now. So let's hope that the trailer proves otherwise. I'm sure the pilot will look pretty badass, though, in some way, shape, or form, because Danny Cannon helmed to that pilot. You know, they're pulling a lot on this. Misha Collins is, you know, boasted that WB are really putting a lot into this. I think, you know, and as pilots are, they want to sell it to the network. That's why I got ordered series. So I'm sure it's going to be impressive there. But when it breaks that kind of mold, so to speak, and gets into the procedural, you know, episodes, how will it do? Will it be good? Will the characters be interesting? That is yet to be seen. So let me know your thoughts on that Gotham Knights poster and synopsis. But that just about wraps up the CW Upfront news as far as I am interested in. You know, these are the stuff I wanted to cover. Don't know if there's much else out there. Maybe there is. But for now, that is it. That is it. Gotham Knights, we're getting a Season 1. We've known that for a while. By the way, just to plug one of my other videos, lots of people ask me, like, who are the characters? Who really is Turner Hayes? Who is Cullen and Harper Row? Who is, what is, where is, what is, how is? I did a whole video on that. Everything we know about Gotham Knights so far. I actually uploaded it the day before it was announced that it was ordered series, you know, so that it was getting a Season 1. Do check that out if you want a crash course, whether you are a fan of this or not. You can be up to date either way by watching that video. But let me know your thoughts on absolutely everything we spoke about today down in the comments. Really appreciate you watching this video today, guys. If you want to stay more up to date with me, I have Twitter and other links down in the description. And hey, I do have a join button on the channel, a Patreon and things like that. If you want to support the channel further, maybe check those out. But again, appreciate you stopping by. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you all have a lovely rest of your day. And I'll see you, people of the CW-verse, okay, I'm sorry, the Arrowverse, in the next video. Goodbye.